Somewhere on the open ocean, far beyond the sight of land, a vessel the length of 4 football fields is pushing through the deep blue at 22 knots. She is carrying 23,000 containers, enough boxes to stretch from New York to Los Angeles if stacked end to end. Inside those containers, electronics, medicines, clothing, cars, food, and 1,000 other things that define modern life. She is one of hundreds of such ships crossing the world's oceans right now, every single day, every single hour. This is container shipping, and it is, without question, the invisible engine of human civilization. Today, we are going on a journey, from the vast automated terminals of Singapore to the canal locks of Panama, from the storm-lashed North Atlantic to the mirror-still waters of the Indian Ocean at dawn. We will ride aboard the world's greatest container ships, the ones operated by the titans of global trade. And we will show you what this industry really looks like from the inside out. To understand container shipping, you first need to understand who runs it. The world's largest container shipping company is Maersk, the Danish giant founded in 1904, now operating a fleet of over 700 vessels and controlling roughly 17% of the world's container shipping capacity. Their flagship vessel, the Maersk McKinney Müller, is named after the company's legendary former chairman, and she is among the largest ships ever built, capable of carrying over 18,000 20-foot equivalent units, or TEU, in a single voyage. Close behind Maersk is MSC, the Mediterranean Shipping Company, a privately held Swiss-Italian empire founded by Gianluigi Aponte, a former sea captain who started with a single ship in 1970. Today, MSC operates the largest fleet on Earth by raw vessel count, with more than 800 ships. Their crown jewel, the MSC Gulsen, stretches 400 meters in length and can carry 23,756 TEU, one of the largest container ships ever built. Third in the global rankings is CMA CGM, the French powerhouse headquartered in Marseille. Built through decades of acquisitions and expansion, CMA CGM today operates routes covering every ocean on the planet. Their showpiece, the CMA CGM Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, named after the French aviator and author, represents the finest of French maritime ambition, a vessel capable of carrying over 20,000 containers in a single crossing. From China comes COSCO, the China Ocean Shipping Company, state-owned, vast, and strategically critical. COSCO operates one of the largest and most modern fleets in the world, connecting China's manufacturing heartland to ports on every continent. Their operations are the logistical backbone of the world's second-largest economy. Evergreen Line of Taiwan is perhaps the most famous name in container shipping among the general public, and not entirely for the reasons they would choose. Their vessel, the Ever Given, made global headlines in March 2021 when she ran aground in the Suez Canal, blocking one of the world's most critical shipping arteries for 6 days and costing the global economy an estimated $9 billion in delayed trade. But Evergreen's story is far larger than that single incident. Founded in 1968 by Y.F. Chang, the company grew from a single second-hand vessel to one of the world's top 5 carriers. Hapag-Lloyd, the German carrier with heritage stretching back to the steamship era, remains one of Europe's finest maritime institutions, a company built on precision, reliability, and a deep commitment to quality. Their flag flies from vessels crossing every major trade lane on Earth. One, Ocean Network Express, represents the bold merger of 3 Japanese shipping giants, NYK, MOL, and K-Line. Created in 2017, One instantly became a top 10 global carrier, operating a fleet of Japanese-engineered vessels known for their technical excellence. Yangming Marine Transport of Taiwan, HMM of South Korea, whose flagship, the HMM Algeciras, is one of the largest container ships ever built, stretching 400 meters and capable of carrying 24,000 TEU, and Zim Integrated Shipping Services of Israel round out the leading names. Together, these 10 companies control the flow of the overwhelming majority of containerized goods crossing the world's oceans. A great container ship does not simply appear at sea. She is born, voyage by voyage, in the terminals. Before a single container is loaded, a team of cargo planners has spent days calculating the precise position of every box on the ship. Weight distribution, stability, the sequence of port calls, the fragility of cargo, the temperature requirements of refrigerated containers, everything must be computed before the first container touches the deck. Get it wrong, and a ship can become dangerously unstable. Get it right, and she will cross oceans with the elegance of pure engineering. The loading itself is one of the great spectacles of the modern world. Giant ship-to-shore cranes, some of the tallest moving structures on Earth, swing their spreader bars overhead with a precision that seems almost gentle for machines of their size. Each crane can load or discharge one container every 90 seconds. A fully equipped terminal may have 12 cranes working a single ship simultaneously. In the space of 24 to 48 hours, a vessel's entire cargo of 20,000 containers can be loaded, lashed, and documented. Lashing is a critical and underappreciated art. Every container must be physically secured to the ship with a system of steel rods, turnbuckles, and twist lock fittings that must withstand forces equivalent to a major earthquake, because at sea, those forces are real. In a Force 10 storm, a 400-meter container ship does not simply bob on the waves. She rolls, pitches, and heaves in a combination of motions that can generate enormous loads on every container stack. A lashing failure is not merely an economic problem. Loose containers wash overboard and become invisible hazards to other vessels for years. When the last line is cast off and the tugs push her clear of the berth, the ship begins the long, meditative rhythm of ocean passage. Life at sea on a modern container ship is a curious combination of extraordinary and mundane. The officers on the bridge maintain a 24-hour watch, rotating in 4-hour shifts, monitoring the radar, the electronic charts, the weather forecasts, and the positioning systems. The chief engineer and his team keep the enormous main engine, a low-speed 2-stroke diesel the height of a 3-story building, running in an environment of heat, noise, and mechanical complexity that few people ever see. The engine room of a large container ship is a world unto itself. The main engine of a vessel like the Maersk McKinney Muller produces roughly 80,000 horsepower, more than 50 Formula One cars running simultaneously, and burns approximately 150 tons of heavy fuel oil every single day. The engine operates at the astonishingly low speed of 80 to 100 revolutions per minute. Its massive pistons, each the weight of a family car, moving with a slow, powerful, deliberate rhythm that you feel more than hear when you stand beside it. The crew of a modern container ship numbers between 20 and 30 people, a remarkably small team to operate a vessel of this scale. They come from around the world: the Philippines, India, Russia, Poland, Ukraine, China, South Korea. They live together in a community at sea for contracts of 4 to 9 months at a time, bound together by shared work, shared meals, and the shared experience of being somewhere that most of humanity will never go. Meals are the heartbeat of shipboard community life. The ship's cook, often Filipino, trained in both Asian and European cuisines, works in a compact, meticulously organized galley to produce 3 meals a day for every crew member, regardless of weather, regardless of what the ocean is doing to the ship.
All right,
fresh provisions are loaded at every port call.
Turning now.
Between ports, the cook draws on a dry stores room, a walk-in freezer, and whatever can be caught on a line, trailed from the stern. A meal at the crew mess table is a small daily ceremony, a moment of warmth and humanity in the middle of vast and indifferent ocean. The ocean is never the same twice. The Indian Ocean at dawn can be so glassy that the horizon disappears into a seamless blue mirror. The Southern Ocean can throw waves of 30 meters at a ship and not apologize. The North Atlantic in winter is a landscape of gray violence, where wave trains arrive in rolling mountains and the ship moves not just forward, but in a complex corkscrewing motion that can make even experienced sailors hold on for their lives. When a container ship meets a major storm, the priorities are clear. Crew safety first, cargo integrity second, the ship third. Speed is reduced. Course may be altered to take the waves at a safer angle. The engine room watch is doubled. Lashing crews check their work, and the officers on the bridge monitor their weather routing service, a satellite data stream of wind and wave forecasts, looking for the path of least resistance through a moving wall of weather. The ocean also brings its gifts. Spinner dolphins riding the bow wave of the MSC Gulsen in the Strait of Malacca. Blue whales surfacing with explosive blows off the coast of Sri Lanka as the Maersk McKinney Muller passes. Flying fish bursting from the water in silver arcs alongside the OOCL Hong Kong in the South China Sea. A wandering albatross gliding motionless on a 10-foot wingspan beside the CMA CGM Antoine de Saint-Exupéry in the Southern Ocean. The most efficient flyer in nature, covering 10,000 kilometers with barely a wing beat. At night, the bioluminescent sea glows electric blue in the bow wave, turning every wake into a river of cold fire. Geography has always shaped trade, and nowhere is this more apparent than at the Great Maritime Canals. The Suez Canal is 193 kilometers of engineered miracle cutting through the Egyptian desert between the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. Without it, a voyage from Europe to Asia would require a detour around the Cape of Good Hope, an additional 7,000 nautical miles. The Ever Given's 2021 grounding demonstrated with brutal clarity just how much of the world's supply chain passes through this narrow ditch of water every day. At any given moment, the canal carries goods worth roughly $10 billion per week. Transiting the Suez Canal is a strange, intimate experience for the crews of these enormous ships. The canal is barely wider than the ship itself. Sandy desert stretches flat to every horizon. Camels are sometimes visible on the bank. Egyptian Canal Authority officials stand on the bow of the ship, watching the banks with experienced eyes. At the Great Bitter Lake, ships anchor to allow convoys to pass in the opposite direction. From the bridge, it feels less like sailing and more like threading a needle through history. The Panama Canal is a different kind of wonder. The canal's expanded Neo-Panamax locks, opened in 2016 specifically to accommodate the new generation of ultra-large container ships, are engineering cathedrals, massive concrete chambers that fill and empty with millions of gallons of water, raising and lowering ships 26 meters between the Pacific and the Atlantic in a process that takes 8 to 10 hours to complete. Electric locomotives called mules run on rails alongside the ship in the locks, holding her centered by cable as the water rises or falls. It is one of the most visually dramatic experiences in all of maritime transport. After 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes longer, the horizon ahead changes. A smudge appears, then resolves into a skyline, a coastline, the cranes of a great port growing slowly from the horizon like a rising city. The pilot boat comes out to meet the ship. A harbor pilot, a local specialist who knows every shoal and current of this particular port, climbs the rope ladder on the side of the hull and takes the con for the delicate final miles. Tugboats arrive like attentive escorts, nudging, pushing, guiding the enormous hull with surprising gentleness toward its berth. Lines fly to the dock. The ship is made fast. The gangway descends. Within minutes, the cranes begin to move. The HMM Algeciras at Busan, the OOCL Hong Kong at Hamburg, the CMA CGM Antoine de Saint-Exupéry at Los Angeles, the MSC Gulsen at Valencia, the Maersk McKinney Muller at Rotterdam. Each arrival is the same drama in a different setting. The graceful, efficient dissolution of a voyage's cargo into the capillaries of the global economy. Container shipping is invisible until it isn't. It runs in the background of everything we buy, eat, wear, and use. A planetary system of moving boxes that operates with extraordinary reliability, extraordinary scale, and extraordinary skill. The captains, officers, engineers, and crew who keep these ships running are among the most skilled and least celebrated professionals on Earth. They spend months away from their families, in conditions that can range from beautiful to terrifying, maintaining the flow of goods that the modern world cannot live without. The companies they work for, Maersk and MSC, CMA CGM and Costco, Evergreen and Hapag-Lloyd, One and Yang Ming, HMM and Zim, are not merely shipping lines. They are the architecture of global trade itself. Without them, the shelves go empty. Without them, the factories stop. Without them, the world as we know it simply does not function. The next time you pick up your phone, the next time you put on a jacket, the next time you open a package that arrived at your door, Somewhere, out on the open ocean, a 400-meter ship is pushing through the dark, her crew awake, her engine running, her cargo destined for a port you'll never visit. The giants of the sea never stop.